Okay, hello guys. This is the solution to the assignment on animation I gave on the group chat, right? So let's solve that animation assignment immediately. So I just created a new file and I named it anime2. So the first thing we'll do is to bring out our HTML markup. So we have our HTML markup. I'll call this animation assignment. So first of all, we'll have to add a video, right? But I don't want to add the video automatically on the body. I want to give it a div. I want to add it inside a div so that the div will have a width, right? A width of 100%. So that that avatar the video of the avatar will have to move along the width. So let's do that. I'll add a div. Now this div, I'll also give it a class name. And the class, I'll just call it avatar div. So inside this div, that's where we'll now add our video. So I've downloaded the video. This is it here. I downloaded it from WhatsApp, so it's still maintaining its old name. So I'll just say // yeah, this is it here. So our image should display. I'll refresh. So this on left side. So our video is there now. Now the next thing is that I want to give this avatar div a width, just as I say. So let's call it avatar div. Okay, now I'm making a mistake. Who can discover this mistake I'm making? I did not add this in a style tag. So that's why it was not highlighting properly. So this should highlight properly now. So this way. Style, open it again. So open to start styling this. So first of all, I'll give it a height. I'll give it a height of 500 pixels. I'll also give it a width. As I said earlier, I'll give it a width of 100%. Then the next thing is to give it a background color of black. So I can refresh this. So this is what it looks like. So the next thing we'll do, if you can see now, our video is too, the height is too much. So one way we can just solve that is just to give it a height. Now the height will just be also 500 pixels. It will be the same height with the parent. So this is very okay now. Now our video is not playing. Some of you, what you would have done is just to add autoplay, right? Now autoplay will not give it that playing move for some browser. So to solve that, you say muted. You have to mute some for some browser. You have to mute it for the autoplay to work. So we want it to continue repeating itself. We can also put loop. Loop simply means whenever it ends, it should start from the beginning again. So we have solved that problem, and we have enough space for this avatar to work. Now, for now, this avatar is not moving, right? It's just static. It's just moving at a particular spot. So we want this avatar now to move from this place to 500 pixels away from this point. This is where animation comes in. So first of all, let us add our keyframe, our animation code. So we'll say add keyframe. So the next thing is to add the name of our keyframe, which I call it animation name or the identifier. We'll call the name avatar. So we have avatar as the name. Open our curly bracket. Now, because we just have 2 points, we want it to start from a particular point, right, and end at a particular point. So we'll use the from to method. From, remember, what are we supposed to use now? Remember, we have to use the transform property, right? So I will say transform. I will say transform. Transform what? Translate. Remember, I want you to move forward on the x-axis. So I'll say translate x. What's the distance we want it to move? We want it to move 500 pixels. So it will start from this point to, sorry, we want it to start from 0 pixel, right? Yeah, we want it to start from 0 pixel rather. So to what? We'll still say transform. Transform translates x also to 500 pixel. Now, nothing is happening. Can you guess why nothing is happening? Nothing is happening because we have not added our animation code. Now, where are we adding our animation code? We're not adding our animation code on this div, right? We are adding the animation code on the video itself. So how do we get this? We can actually give this video a class name. That's one way. Or we can call the video directly, since we have only one video here. So, but I'll use the class name method. So I'm giving it a class. I'll just give it avatar video. So call it avatar video. I'll just copy this so that it will be easier to use on CSS. I'll come down here. So I'll call avatar div because it's a child. Dot avatar video, right? This way. I can also use the calling direct child because it's a direct child. So I'll just use greater than sign. because I'm not calling any descendant, it's just direct child. Remember our selectors, so you can go back to know why I use this method. So the next thing to do is to add our animation on this div, right? On this video, right? Because this avatar video is what we have called here. So for us to add animation, I want us to use the shorthand method because I'm very sure you have seen the video on animation. So I don't want to make this particular video too long. So I'll say animation. So animation. The first property we add now is the animation name. Now what's the animation name? The animation name is avatar, right? We add space. The next animation property is animation duration. How long do we want the animation to take place? We want it to take place in 5 seconds, right? So the next animation property we should add now is animation timing function. Now, how do we want it? Do we want it to easily go in or ease out? So I will say ease in out. So ease in out simply means it will start slowly at the beginning, become fast at the middle, and end slowly. That's what ease in out simply means. The next property we'll be talking about is, we have talked about the animation name. The next one is animation duration. The next one is animation timing function. The next one we'll talk about is animation delay. So how long do we want it to delay? We want it to delay for 0.5 seconds before it starts, right? Remember I said we can use seconds or milliseconds. So the next animation property we should add is animation. Next one is delay. How long do we want it to delay? The next one is animation iteration count. That's after delay. The next one we're supposed to add is iteration count. That is how many times do we want this animation to take place. For now, what we are going to do, make it infinite. So it should continue happening. So the next one is animation direction. So our animation direction should be alternate. So you should either start from. So I want us to see something here. If I say forward, so it will only be starting from. It will only be going forward. So if I say backward, let's be very fast. Backward. This is what it will look like. It looks like it's just one place, but it's going backward. So the next one is alternate. So it can either go forward or backward. So it will go forward and also go backward. It will go forward and go backward. So that's it for the assignment. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me. Thank you.